The only archaeologist is carefully pulling up old floorboards in the dusty attic of a big country house. Underneath, he finds dirt and trash that have been there for hundreds of years. But in the middle of all the dirt and trash, he finds something amazing, a stash of historical wealth that shines like gold. Hello everyone. In this video, we will talk about the incredible discoveries made by expert when he lifted the floor. But before we start, make sure to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for regular updates. Let's get started. After the lockdown of 2020, archaeologist Matt Champion decided to stay at Augsburg Hall in England. In the 15th century manor's attic rooms, he found a lot of history under each floorboard, including an interesting look at the people who used to live there. Since the Middle Ages, the Bietenfelds have lived in Hall. It had seen many people come and go, but Champion was the most interested. He wrote down everything he had found, which took a long time. Champion looked through years of dirt and saw a golden rat's nest and a golden book. He looked under the floorboards of this old family home and found what? Augsburg's past is long and bloody, like that of many English great houses. Thomas Dewey owned the land in the 1300s, but he had to sell it because he was bad. The Tottenham family gave Sir Edmund Bietenfeld Augsburg as a gift. He then built a big house in Norfolk. The English royal court didn't take long to recognize the lord. In 1482, the king let him make his home stronger to match his status. Oxford Manor is still there and can be seen. The next year, at Richard I's coronation, Bietenfeld was made a knight. For many years, the family's close ties to the country's masters helped their wealth grow, but Bietenfeld stopped being loyal to the House of York. In 1498, he met King Henry VII at Augsburg. The royal line was cut off when a new person took over. Even though they were Catholic, the family made it through Henry VI's harassment. The Bietenfelds may have been famous since the Middle Ages because of the treasures found in the manor's attic. During Charles I's rule, the family's luck changed for a short time, but the English Civil War, which began in 1642, was terrible. Parliamentary armies plundered Augsburg and slaughtered family members, but the Bietenfelds stayed faithful to the crown despite Charles I's inaction. The family left English society, often moving abroad or becoming religious. The house was rented and had deteriorated. Fortunately, Sir Henry Bietenfeld turned the home into a Gothic revival masterpiece in the 1830s. In the 1950s, the family couldn't pay for Augsburg's rising costs. After being sold to an insurance company and almost being torn down, Champion found its riches. 3 Bietenfeld women got the money to buy the farm at the last minute. In 1952, the family bequeathed Augsburg to the National Trust, ensuring its safety. The medieval manor is a big house that has been protected and is full of old things. A sign about Henry VII and Elizabeth of York's visit is in the king's room. During the persecution of Catholics, the Bietenfelds had a small crawl space where they could have hidden a priest. Some news stories about 2020 have come out. In February of that year, the National Trust wrote about an interesting find in Augsburg. Sir Henry Arundel Bietenfeld II, Baronet, was a secret Jacobite supporter. This was shown by a careful search of the family papers. Who were the Jacobites? After King James I of England was taken out of power, their story began. It sheds light on Augsburg's worst time. Later that year, the dusty rooms in the attic were given lights. In 2016, a gable window on Augsburg Hall fell. In December 2019, a £6 million project to fix things up began. When lockdown was coming, the people who were fixing up Augsburg Hall worried that the house's hidden past might have to wait another year. Champion worked in the attic, where the floorboards were lifted to show the frames. He looked around by hand because he didn't have any high-tech tools. He soon noticed things that were interesting. Anna Forrest, who runs projects for the National Trust, said in August 2020 that Champion was the first person in hundreds of years to look under Augsburg's attic floorboards. Champion even found a box of candies with empty wrappers, which may have been hidden by someone who was hungry. Some things in the Beaconfeld's attic showed how they used them. Sewing was done in well-lit rooms. Forrest told the National Trust that Matt had to wear thick gloves to find a lot of pins near south-facing windows. Champion also found pieces of paper with writing on them, wax seals, and ping-pong balls. This showed that the rooms in the attic had been used for games and letters. Forrest said that things were in good shape because of what was going on under the floors. She said that each wave of dust, trash, and other things could be seen peeking out from under the board. The trash was often inches thick and sat on a layer of lime plaster, which sucked out moisture and kept much of it in perfect condition over the years. A builder found gold in the junk in the attic. The source was an illustrated manuscript from the 1500s. Even though it was covered in dust, the paper was a bright blue. Forrest told The Guardian in August 2020, "It's the most wonderful thing, and to have found it in what was basically a pile of trash is unheard of for the National Trust." She said that the book had a Latin Bible translation from the 4th century. Because the minor letters were written in blue and gold instead of blue and red, it cost a lot to make this book. Forrest said that it is tempting to think that this is a page from a beautiful book, and to wonder if it belonged to Sir Edmund Beaconfeld, the builder of Oxburgh Hall. The old country house gave up more than just the text. Under the boards in the northwest area of the attic, 2 rat nests were found. These rats stood out. There were pieces made of silk, wool, satin, leather, and plush. In the past, all of these materials were signs of wealth. Reports say that some of the pieces are thought to be from the time of the Tudors. Clement says that this old building is slowly giving up its secrets, so we don't know what else we might find or what will stay hidden for future generations to find. That's it for today. What do you think about this incredible discovery? Let us know in the comment section. Please like and share our videos. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for regular updates.